Well, good evening, good afternoon, possibly even a good morning to you, wherever you might be. Welcome to the show. It's been a little while. It has been a little while since I've done one of these because it's been busy. It's been crazy. I've had a lot of work going on, and I haven't even released a new video on the main channel in like weeks now. I have 3 videos shot. I gotta edit them at some point. Apparently, that's part of the process too. But yeah, it's just been one of those. It's been a while. It has been a while, but hey, how y'all doing today? I hope everybody's doing fine. Let's just get a little hello in the chat room. Let's make sure that everything is coming through 9 to 5 or 5 by 9 or 10 by 4 or whatever the heck it is people say. And I see Mr. Bug Bob is in the audience today. Bug Bob, give me a little hello just to make sure that we are hearing you loud and clear. And Bug Bob was trying to say he's wondering if he could stay up late. I said I hope so, and he said he's usually fast asleep within 20 minutes from now. But let's just hope it's one of those nights when he can actually stay awake. Bob, give me a little shout out. Make sure that we are hearing me okay. Who else is in the audience? Say hello. This is I can tell this is already going to be one of those very lightweight, small shows because it's just not that many people waiting. I really need to go back to simultaneously streaming this over on my main channel because I think that there's still a lot of people who don't know that this new channel is here. And when I don't go live regularly, the notifications slow down. It's a whole thing. It's a problem. YouTube's that way, isn't it? Hey, Mr. Chris, you're here as well. Look at this. Who else we got? We got David Howie saying loud and clear. Excellent. We got Chris W. in the house. Thank you very much for joining me today. Awesome to see you guys as always. What is YouTube yelling at me about now? It says the stream's current bitrate is lower than recommended. It should be getting a whole lot of bitrate. In fact, it should be getting, see, I wonder if this still works. I set this up once to show you. Yeah, it does still work. Look at that. It is currently streaming 12 megabits and yet, oh there, now it says it. You know, it's so funny. Like I go to check it and the YouTube goes, just kidding, didn't really mean to complain. Now it shows me that it's getting the full 12 megabits, which is actually, that's kind of good. It's like quite in line with what that is actually streaming. It's kind of cool, huh? Being able to show the web presenter this way. Now, this is like a total picture-in-picture thing that's going on that I built to do this, but I wanted to be able to show this whenever I wanted to show this. It's just kind of cool. What does this button do? Oh yeah, I have that set up too. I forgot about that. I did that for a show, and I remember, yeah. You can kind of see it building in there in the background. Anyway, cool. All right, let's go back to normal, which would be right there. Excellent. So, you know, this is one of those nights where it's like we can just do kind of whatever. I don't have an agenda tonight because I've just been so busy on other projects. But I can tell you about some of them. I finally started working on, well, I actually finished now, the BGH1 series. So a lot of you who are Lumix shooters, you saw that I did an S5 series at the end of last year, and we wrapped like a couple days before Christmas, and we were originally going to start BGH1 immediately afterwards, but I needed a break, and I asked the Panasonic guys, could we start this up after the New Year? So sure, no problem. And then New Year came, and then other stuff happened, and it just never happened. It was like a month ago, I go, guys, we should probably do this project. So we finally did it. It's completely done. It's in the can. It is edited. It is up for approval. There's some minor changes that have to happen, but hopefully within the next couple of weeks. I don't know, sometimes it takes a little longer to get those up online, but hopefully that'll be out soon. It's a good series. It's cool. A lot of deep dive education on the BGH1, which I got to tell you, man, the more I use this camera, I am so in love with this thing. I'm using one right now. Little box camera. It's pretty good. Actually, I set something new up. Let me grab. I added a little light, if I can remember where the power button is. Is that it? That must not be it. Either that or the battery's dead. Give me a second here. So I'll turn my mic here so you can actually hear me while I'm doing this, but I thought, oh no, says it's, oh, dimming is at 0. Oh, that was, dimming is at 0. Well, bravo. How did I do that? Ah, crap. Now I don't know which buttons, because I can't see anything, are the ones to make it dim. There it goes. There's a little bit of light. Okay. So what I did was I mounted a tiny little light. Let's get the mic back out of frame. I mounted a tiny little light above this camera here so that it would illuminate whatever I held up. And now that it's probably too low. I don't think it was quite that low, but it was definitely not very high. So that I could, I don't know, pick something up. What's a good thing to, oh, here, I know. Got a new air tag sitting here. So I could pick something up and hold it up to the camera and actually illuminate it. And of course, obviously, oh, I think I turned off autofocus. Probably should turn that on. Let's get the camera software fired up. I think it's off. Is it off? Yeah, it must be off. Because the autofocus actually works pretty well on this camera. No, it is on. There we go. It's just that it's set to face detection, and this is not blocking enough of my face. So let's do that. There we go. A little air tag action there. There we go. That's working now. I like how you can personalize them. So I decided I put my initials, well, the PhotoJoseph initials, and then just some random icon afterward just to, I don't know, differentiate them. Obviously, I haven't even turned this one on yet. Don't know quite what I'm going to do with that, but there we go. So anyway, yeah, little light up there shining down. It shouldn't be so much that illuminates my face. Let's see here. Turn that off. Yeah, you can't even tell. That's off. Oh, I'm a little shiny today. That's off, and there we go. That's on. So barely anything. But I am looking like this exposure's a little bit on the hot side. I kind of, when I was because I had to work with this camera for the video shoot, so it was constantly being moved around, and I don't think I ever got it set back up completely properly again. Let's see here. If I go for a slightly darker, yeah, that's not really it. Yeah, let's just go back to where it was. Whatever, it's good enough. It's just one of these shows. We will manage. So, what's going on out there, you guys? What have you guys been up to? Tell me something cool and exciting. What's been happening on your end of things? Bug Bob says, oh, here we go. Let's go back to the chat thing. Oops, we got to turn that off and turn that back on. Bug Bob says, you got your AirTags already? I ordered mine immediately and they're still not here. Really? Oh, yeah. I ordered mine morning of. I mean, I'm always up that early, but I ordered them within, I don't know, maybe a half hour of them going live. And obviously customized them, did a pack of 4. And yeah, they came a week and a half later or something. It was, it was a longer time because they were personalized, but yeah, they came when they said they were going to come. It's surprising you haven't gotten yours yet. Very surprising. You should get them. They're cool. I've put one in my car, which is kind of cool. Track your car, right? I put one in my camera bag, in my computer bag. I need to, if you got anybody has a good idea for this, let me know. There's a bunch of different keychain things. It's like beyond stupid. This doesn't have a built-in keychain hook. Let's just not get into that. But I have tiles right now, which one of them I realized the battery's been dead forever. I didn't even realize it. One of the other reasons to switch to these things. And I've got tiles on my car keys. So I have a car key with a tile, and then I have my house key, which, hold on, I'll show you this. Here's my setup. So I got one of these things to hold all the keys, right? And then a tile on there, and then, a car key and a tile on there. And I'm really annoyed with having 2 things. So I want to put them together, but I don't want to carry this whole thing as too much. I only need 2 keys, really, all the time. My house key and my studio key, and then obviously the car key. So I'm trying to find something good to put those together, but that's kind of hard. I'm thinking maybe one of those little leather wraparound patches, which I don't know if that's going to annoy me that I have to open it, and then with an AirTag hanging off of it, which is just stupid that you have to attach a thing to it, but whatever. Sure as hell I'm not buying an AirTag holder that costs more than the AirTag itself. That's beyond stupid, but there we go. And anyway, so I got to figure out the right key thing. I'm just trying to minimize as much. I got it's out in the car, but I got the little magnetic Apple Wallet. I paid that stupid tax. Stupid expensive little thing, but it's nice. It's kind of nice. But I like that. Go out and, it's all I need is this with a little wallet thing on there and then one key thing. It's kind of minimalizing, getting less and less. Trying to declutter. I don't know. Whatever. I'm babbling. All right, let's see. Chris W. has a question. Chris W. says, got a goofy question. What's your favorite travel food to take on shoots? Trying to eat healthier and while accepting suggestions. Oh, gosh. If I'm going on a shoot, the last thing that I'm worrying about is trying to be super healthy about the food. I mean, I'll grab like a food bar, nutrition bars. If I think that I'm going to have to skip a meal or I'm just worried that I'm going to get hungry, then I'll grab, like Lara bars or whatever, some of those minimal ingredient healthy bars, not the Cliff bars. Those things always give me indigestion, so I stopped eating those years ago. Lara is a good brand that has like 4 ingredients or something like that. I can't even remember what the brands are. I kind of buy what's on sale. The town that I live in is very much a kind of hippie town. And so the grocery store that we shop at mostly is very much a hippie grocery store. It's awesome. It's got all kinds of great organic, healthy, blah, blah, blah foods, quite often for cheap and quite often cheaper than conventional. Bonus there. But there's this huge section of food bars, and I almost never buy them except when I travel or if I'm going to be on a long shoot. Always have some in my bag when I travel because you never know. Stuck in an airport, long flight, they don't feed you, whatever. Always have a couple of those. And I basically just buy whatever's on sale because, they can be stupid expensive, but then they're on sale for like $1 a piece. And as long as they have ingredients I can pronounce, I'm good with that because I don't eat them all the time. But yeah, that's all I do for food stuff when I'm on a shoot or whatever. I don't stress too much about it because I eat well basically all the time. So that's kind of a minimal thing that I need to worry about. So I don't really worry about it too much. Bugbug says, ditto on the tiles. The batteries died, not replaceable, but still on our keychains. Actually, this one is replaceable. I upgraded these. So I upgraded these tiles 2 years ago, maybe. there we go. So these are replaceable. And I did get like an email notification that they were going to expire. But then I realized that I never replaced the batteries and I never got a notification. In fact, I went to launch the Tile app and it had been offloaded from my phone. Bravo. I mean, I could feel badly for them because Apple's obviously going to eat their lunch with their product. But apparently, as I understand it, and maybe this is urban legend, but as I understand it, they were offered the ability to put these things on Apple Find My, and they decided not to. Which, let's be honest, if it was on Find My, I'd be like, oh great, perfect, I'll just keep using these. But they're not, so no. These are on Find My, and they're awesome. So there you go. That's how it's going to be. Bob takes a lot of mixed nuts, and that's always a good idea. Food bars are often high in sugar. True that. That's why I try to go for the ones that are just a few ingredients. They're, no added sugar at least. I'm hypoglycemic, so I have to keep my sugars low. Well, and that's obviously very important. Yeah, if I'm going running for a long run, which doesn't happen very often anymore, but anyway, I would usually grab like a baggie with. We always have nuts and dried fruit in the house, so that would be my kind of snack. A few different kind of maybe pecans or almonds or walnuts or whatever's around, and some dried nuts, raisins, craisins, those kind of things. Throw them in a bag and off we go. That's how it is. Agreed, Find My is terrific. It is. It really is. It works very, very well, doesn't it? It is awfully quiet in the room today. It is awfully quiet in here today. Yeah, God, there's almost nobody here. Well, that's okay. That's okay. It can just be us. It's an short, intimate show. So what have you guys been working on? Tell me something you've been working on. While you're thinking of that and filling up the comments, I'll tell you what I've been working on outside of the Panasonic thing. So that is, like I said, in the can. Hopefully you guys will get to see that soon. Really thrilled with how those came out. They're awesome, super technical. Most of them are very technical videos, which is great. Love that stuff. I'm working on another piece for Mevo for these guys. It's almost done. So the Mevo cameras, it's not one camera, that's 3 cameras. Let's get that up here so you can see it. There we go. Look at that. Get the light on it. I guess that light does need to be brighter, doesn't it? These are fun cameras. I dig these for simple live stream setup. And I'll tell you a little story. So you might have seen, they hired me to do a spot for them. I guess it was late last year on the Mevo Start on that camera. And it was kind of all shot on the Mevo Start, and it was showing all the different situations it could be used in, kind of a deep dive on the features in 90 seconds or something like that. It was fun. That was a fun video to put together. But if it was all shot on the Mevo, which in itself was kind of cool. That was a fun challenge. But this time they wanted me to do another one for different product, and they initially wanted it shot on the Mevo as well. And I was kind of scripting it and outlining it. I go, guys, let me ask you a crazy question. I go, look, the Mevo camera is a live camera. It's not meant to be a production camera. Why are we forcing it to be a production camera for this commercial? Can I shoot it on regular cameras? And they decided to let me do that. So I shot the whole thing on S1H and S5. There's one slider shot that's on an S5, and then everything else is gimbal. S1H on the gimbal. Well, actually, hold on. I guess I still got the rig. Let me grab this. I lied, I took it apart partially, but S1H with the Takumar, 50 millimeter Takumar lens on there. You see the follow focus rigging that's applied to it. Then there's the Ronin, what is this, S2 Ronin with the 3D focus, which I've done a video on in the past. Hopefully you guys have seen that. There's the little 3D focus module sits on top of the camera. And then there's a focus motor here. I'm gonna do all this focus motor here that drives the focus control. And it worked out really well. I had one shot where I was like, why? It just doesn't seem like it's in focus. I finally realized that I needed to recalibrate the focus thing. So that happens. You do occasionally need to recal it. But it was so cool. This stuff looks so good. Shot on this, again, primarily on this. This is heavy on the gimbal. But the reason, if you're wondering why I shot with the S1H on the gimbal instead of the S5, is time code. So this camera, the S1H, has time code in via the PC port. The S5 does not have time code input. And I was shooting sound separately, and I didn't want to, even though I know that I could have relied on audio syncing, because obviously the mic on here would pick up plenty of audio to sync up with the dialogue that was being captured on a, what did I use? What is the thing? Anyway, one of the sound recorders that records 32-bit float. which also has time code. Even though I knew I could rely on the audio to sync up, I like working with time code. I really, really do. It just makes me happy when everything's got perfect time code. So this has the time code input. The audio recorder has the time code. Zoom F6, I think that's whatever. The time code recorder has the time code input. Audio recorder has the time code input. And then the S5, which does not, but that was on the slider, which had a Ninja 5 on it, and the Ninja 5 has the timecode module, the AtomX timecode module on the back of that. So everything was synced up for timecode, which made obviously syncing in post flawless. And I really, once you go timecode, man, there's no going back. It's too great. So yeah, so it's kind of a heavy rig for a gimbal, and then I had to have a timecode generator like taped on somewhere, but it works. I mean, it's freaking awesome. This camera's amazing. God, I love the S1H. I mean, the S5 is obviously phenomenal camera too, but S1H, man, that's my baby. Okay, what else is going on in the comments here? Oh, there isn't. Oh, no, there is. Sorry, let's scroll up. Hey, Mr. Paul Young, welcome to the party. Mr. Paul Young says, the kids are in bed and you made it. Well, welcome to the party, and thanks for getting the kids to bed. I got mine to bed, and then I came rushing down here. Ooh, Bob is planning to install a NAS at home, but not the big time unit that I have. My current external RAID on my disk is noisy. We'll locate the NAS in another room. So you're going to do a really fast NAS. You're going to do a gigabit, 10 gigabit, 10 gig, yeah, 10 gig NAS so that you can edit from it, or is it just for storage? So I've got, my NAS is not fast. Mine is just a standard 1 gig connection. So it's backup and archive. And I love this NAS. Well, although I did have some problems, but they're recovered now. But I do love the way it works. I've got 60 terabytes in there now, I think. Yeah, 60 terabytes. I'm just looking at the mounted share. 60 terabytes in there. It's so cool that I can go in and just make shares in there, their volumes that show up on Mac OS. And I can specify a size, but I don't have to, so it's flexible. And when I start running low on space, I just add more disks into it and I get more space. It's great. So now I've been using it to archive stuff as well. So archiving old footage, old projects that I don't need locally. And then obviously it's used as a backup too. But man, that thing is sweet. It's loud, but it's in the other room. So it's actually not that loud. I shouldn't say that. The loudest thing in there is the stupid UPS. Got to find a quiet UPS. That follow focus rig and the video is very cool. If you haven't seen that video, that was, I should pull that thing up just in case someone hasn't seen it. But that was the 3D focus, 3D, I'm saying that while I'm typing so that I can search and find it. Here we go. I love that you can't grab the URL, the share URL from the page without having to, from the search page without having to open the video. So stupid, so dumb. Come on, YouTube, get it right. Anyway, here it is. Where's my chat to chat with you guys? Here it is. There's that video. In case you haven't seen it, do please watch that. That's all about that 3D focus and the gimbal. It's great. So this is the first time that I used it in an actual production outside of my own stuff, which is awesome. So it worked out really well. I'm not a great gimbal operator, so I definitely got a lot of missed shots just because me trying to turn the camera and get it just right. But I got it in the end. I got it, and I'm stoked with it. It looks beautiful. Came together really, really nice. Chris W says I've been using a couple as NDI cams. We're talking about the Mevos here. Okay. They work pretty good for no bigger than the Mevo Starts are. I wish they had the Ethernet built in though. Yeah, I won't disagree with you there. So if anybody's wondering, what he's talking about is this camera, the Mevo Start. If you can get it has a USB-C port on the back, you can get a USB-C to Ethernet adapter. And, you know, I get it what you're saying. It'd be great if it had Ethernet built into it. Anyway, so USB to Ethernet adapter. And if you have PoE, or maybe it's PoE, no, PoE, not even PoE plus, PoE will power the camera. So you get one Ethernet cable into it and you stick that wherever, you know, as far away as you can run an Ethernet cable, and that will power the camera. And you can set it as an NDI camera. So whatever system you're using in-house, if you have the ability to receive an NDI signal, then you can just pull that camera in, which is really cool. And that does work over Wi-Fi as well, but it's way better over wired for sure. But yeah, the fact that it can be powered with Ethernet on PoE, I love that. That's one of the great things about the BGH1 as well. It can be powered over PoE plus. You do need the higher power, but PoE plus can power that, which means you can run a camera anywhere that you can run a cable to, mount it up in the ceiling or something, and then do all the control of the camera from software, which is just, oh, it's so cool. I love this camera. So love this camera. I want all the cameras to have the software control, access over Ethernet. PoE Plus would be great on all of them, but obviously some of the cameras are bigger. They probably can't deliver the power to that. But at least to be able to plug every camera, I want every camera, even if it has to use the USB-C to an Ethernet connection. Wouldn't that be cool if every camera that you had, you could access over a network and you could just plug it in anywhere? Man, that'd be awesome. One day, one day, one day. 10 gig or 12 gig NAS, mostly storage. Bob's getting awesome. Yeah, and if I know you said it's not as big as the one that I have. The one that I have is 12 bays, and 5 of them or 6 of them, 5, I forget now, are full. It's like half full, and I can keep expanding it. Yeah, I think it's 6. I think I have 6 in there now, and it's half full, and I can keep expanding it, which is just, it's so great. It's very, very cool. Very cool. Chris is editing a documentary for 125th anniversary of a fire department. Well, that's cool. Trying to blend old film from the 70s may drive you crazy. 4K deliverable with a whole bunch of SD footage in there too. Yeah, it's yikes. Are you delivering 4K? Are you trying to scale it and make it look not awful? I'd love to hear how you're doing that. That's actually kind of cool. And it's probably a lot of video footage, not film footage, isn't it? You said film from the 70s, but is it really film? Because film, if you had the film, you could rescan it. That'd be cool. Get it scanned at really high resolution. That'd be really cool. I'm guessing you probably have more video than film, but tell me. Elaborate, please. The dream is a NAS with a powerful processor and a watch bin for exports. A NAS with a powerful... So you would just offload footage to it and it would do whatever it's going to do and prep it for you? I mean, it depends on what you're trying to get it to do. I don't know that you would use necessarily a dedicated NAS for that, because a NAS itself doesn't usually run the kind of software. I mean, obviously you haven't told me what you want to do with it, but if you wanted to, like, re-encode in various offline formats, burn in time code, that sort of thing, you'd probably use a computer for that, running Mac OS or Windows, than doing a NAS, which is probably running Linux or some flavor of that. But if you do set up something like that, I use an app called Kyno, Kyno. I actually don't know what level of automation it has. I've never tried automating with it, but it is awesome for logging clips. And so basically everything I shoot now goes through Kyno, where I give it names. I name my clips. I mean, if it's like a little video with a couple of shots, I don't worry about it. But anything larger where I have lots of shots, especially if it's anywhere scripted, I know scenes and take numbers and things like that. It all goes through Kyno, gets processed with getting the scene, take, shot, whatever numbers added in Kyno. And then I rename the files using that metadata, and then from Kyno send it to Final Cut, and then all of the metadata goes with it. So when it's in Final Cut, the scene, the takes, all that stuff is all in there in the metadata. It's awesome. I absolutely love Kyno. It's super cool. Super cool. Cool. Yeah, you mean imports. Drew, more like a server with a NAS app. Yeah, exactly. If you're trying to process video files, that's probably what you would want. That'd be a good way to do it. He's clarifying, when footage comes in, it will transcode to whatever you like to work with in your editor. Yeah. I wonder if, let me show you. Have you guys seen Kyno before? Have any of you guys actually ever played with that? Let me fire it up here, get the right shortcuts going, and I'll put it up on the shared screen. I'll show you what it looks like in case you've never seen it. Let me just kind of set it up and get something good on there for you to look at. It's cool. I really, really, really like it. I feel like I should have a drink, but probably shouldn't. All I've got in house is tequila anyway. Don't need tequila. So actually, that same bottle of tequila from that show where you guys all made me drink got me drunk, then I had to walk home. That was funny. Okay, Kyno, why are you just showing me a blank screen? I swear to God. Don't do... Oh, is my backup still running? It is. I guess I should stop that. Let me just stop that task. I should stop that on Wednesdays. My CCC backup is running for my Mac OS drive, the internal drive right now, which is slowing the whole system down. Understandably so. All right, let's see here. Let me get this into position, scale that window, drag it over here. Fill, or not. Now it's just gonna hang out again. In the meanwhile, let's see what else is going on. Oh, just explaining. Just having a chit chat. God, there's almost nobody here watching live today. Just a handful of you, not even in the triple digits. Man, this is a poor showing, but that's okay. It's okay. All right, let's see here. Do I have anything that hasn't been logged yet? I don't. So I can't show you from that level, but I can show you this. Let me set this up. Yeah, this is all okay to show. Get the right button up there. Yes. Haha, I got it. Ooh, gotta get in the right spot. One of these days I'll figure out where I'm supposed to stand. Well, I feel like, anyway. Okay, so this is Kino. If you haven't seen it before, this is Kino. It is, you have file browser down here on the left, and then when you select a folder, you see everything in that folder. And there's this cool feature called drill down, where if I enable that, it shows everything inside of all the subfolders as well. But in this case, I'll just look at the top level. And these are already processed and named, but effectively what I would do, actually let me show you, let me do a different one. Let's do a BGH1 project because that has slates in it, which really shows how I do these things. Let's see here, that's on Beast, BGH1, training, video files. Here we go. All right, so the BGH1 stuff is multi-camera and shot with slates. So for example, is this the top one in here? Why is this? Oh, it's showing just the stuff shot in the last 7 days. Let's go to all. There we go. There's everything. So lots of filters across the top. Show me stuff shot, you know, in the last hour, last 24 hours, and so on. Sorting, filtering, whatever, that kind of thing. But here's, so like here's shot 111. So that is, let's open this up. That is reel one. So I use reel in a project like this. These tags over here are what go into Final Cut. So reel gets used, scene gets used, shot does not get used. That metadata field does not show up in Final Cut, so I have to be careful not to use it, which is why an X goes in there so I don't forget. And that actually gets applied by doing a metadata, let's see here, assign metadata preset. Well, actually, no, let's go manage metadata presets. So yeah, I only have one in here right now for the BGH1 shoot. It just adds a description in there, and then I put a little X in the fields that I don't want to use to make sure that I don't accidentally fill those in. Sometimes, you know, you get confused, like, wait, did I want to use shot or take? I don't remember. This way I just know. Anyway, so I copy the footage over, just apply a metadata preset to all of them. Just grab all the clips and apply that metadata preset. It puts that name in there and the drops those X's in those fields. And then I go into the shots and I go, okay, this is, so that first indicator, you can't see it. Let me go to a different video where you can see the slate better. You can, that one's a little bit better, so you can see there a little bit more. See if I moved it at all. I did not. Anyway, so that's reel and then shot and then take. And so I go in here, it's reel, scene is shot and then take. And I just put those numbers into these fields. And so if we look at this, you'll see when the cameras come off of the recorders, these are all being recorded in the HyperDecks. Their names automatically have Cam A, Cam B, Cam C, Cam D, Cam E, Cam F on them, depending on how many shoots, how many I'm using. Sometimes there's more stuff like this. Also has some screen captures that were brought over, and those get labeled as like cameras G, like there, that's G right there, which is a screen capture. So those, I would like select all of, so these were all 111, right? So I'd select all of those and I would go into a meta batch change on here and I'd type in reel one, scene one, and so on, fill in all the holes in there. And once all the holes are filled in, you can see how they get shot, they get labeled up here. There's a reel, there's a scene, and so on. And then once all that metadata is in place based off of the slate and so on, then you rename it. So we go to the rename menu and you use renaming and moving can happen all at once. So I would rename it and move it from the source the folder where I copy everything into. So the HyperDecks all dump into, via FTP, they all dump into a collection of 6 folders that are labeled, of course, with the camera that they came off of. And then, so I do all the metadata adding in there. And then from that stage, once that's done, I rename and move to the actual project folder. And so here I can choose where it's going to move to. So that gets labeled in there. And then here's these presets. In the file name patterns, you have these total control over these. So let's find the BGH1 one. There it is. And so you can, if we go to the top, there's tokens. Like, so the first part of it is the reel, and then a dash, and then the scene, and then a dash, then a take, and then the letters CAM for camera, you know, cam dash, and then the angle. So that's the angle that I put into the angle field. And then just the word BGH1, and then the created date and created time. So I always have that unique timestamp on each one. And so then that will show you what that's going to look like. And you can see, so these have already been done, but this, you know, this would just say like shot 1, 2, 3, 4 or whatever. And then here output file, those are how they get named. And then everything has a nice clean name for it, which is really, really cool. And then when I send it to Final Cut, you just select whatever you're using and you say, where is it? Send to, I don't even know where, I just know the keyboard shortcuts. I'll just hit the keyboard shortcut. There it is. Send to Final Cut. So I can select the project here, or I can just do a select in Final Cut and it'll just prompt me in there, and leave the files in place always because they live in one location. And that's it. I just leave it at the default, hit send to, and then it pops up in Final Cut, asks me what library to move it into, and I choose it, and then all the metadata is there, everything's there and organized. It's super, super slick. So I love that. So the reason I come in here is look for watch folders. I don't know if it does that at all. Yeah, I have no idea. Check it out. Look up Kino, K-Y-N-O. Here, I'll pick up the splash screen for you. Kino.video, I suppose. It's badass. I mean, this is really, it's out of Germany or Austria. Yeah, check it out. Less Pain Software, lesspain.software is the name of the company. Anyway, check it out. Super awesome. If I have no idea if it'll automate for you, but it certainly does a lot. Oh, and so I'm using it just for all that file naming stuff. But one of the things that you can do in there as well is you can transcode. And so I need this less now because Final Cut has a really good offline processing built into it. But you can have this transcode into pretty much any codec you want. Let's say you're shooting log, you can have it burn a LUT into it if you want to. One of the things that I was doing when I used it before was I'd create the offline files, offline edit files that would get shared on a network server for my remote editor to work with. And I didn't have the LUT burned in because I realized that was a problem. It was better to have the offline files the same as the online files, meaning no LUT, so that I would just apply the LUT in Final Cut, and then that automatically applies the same LUT, whether you're looking at the online or offline versions, proxy or masters or whatever they're called. But what I would do with the offline was I would burn the time code into it. And part of that's just visual reference. Sometimes it's handy to see, but it's also just a super clear indicator that you are not looking at the final shot. You're looking at a offline low-res version of it. So I kind of liked that about it. You can't do that in Final Cut natively, but the whole workflow of Final Cut natively is pretty straightforward now. So I kind of not really using that anymore. But this is awesome. I mean, for sure, it is a really, really cool workflow. So check it out. You never know. Yeah, never know. Okay, back to Chris W.'s topic. He was talking about his documentary, 4K deliverable, and it was old newsreel and something else converted to VHS. Ooh, they don't have the originals. I'm trying it as transparent overlays over other footage. Oof, man, yeah, that's tough. Wow. Yeah, I've never tried. The approach I would take, let me see, what would I do? If I had to scale something up that big, probably scale it, blur it, take another copy of it without blur, and do a like a high pass sharpening on that, and do, would it be an overlay blend? Is that right? I forget now. It's been a while since I've tried that technique on stills. Should work on video too. Just to kind of give it, it'd be like a slightly softer look, but it would probably be a lot better than the scaled up VH. I don't know. I mean, I'm pulling things out of my butt here. I don't know. Man, ruthless though. Man, that's tough. Which Slate app are you using? Oh, good question. I am using, ooh, here, I can do this. Wait, hold on, let me launch it. It's called Movie Slate. One of these keyboard shortcuts I'm sure is set up for that. There it is. That should be the one. Is this going to work? Yes. Wait, why is it crooked? What the heck? Okay, let me fix that. That is bizarre. Allow me, please, to go to Mimo. Why is that? Hello, look, it's here. I have no idea why it's doing that. Where's my reset? Zoom, position. I get why it zoomed. I don't know why it was offset. Anyway, so this is it. Here's one of the cool things about it. So I have time code running in the house at all times, right? I've got a UltraSync 1 as the master that is in the house, and that's also feeding into the deck, into the ATEM, which then feeds out to all the decks. So that one timecode generator feeds out to everything. But then anywhere else in the house where I want timecode, I just have another US1, UltraSync 1, and I just plug that into the camera wherever it is, and that picks up the timecode from the master. One of the timecode generators is a Bluetooth generator, and this is the Atomos, formerly Timecode Systems Blue. It's just called Blue, I think. I don't have one sitting here. But anyway, so it is a Bluetooth transmitter, and so the movie slate can pick up the Bluetooth signal. So let's go back to this. If I go tap and hold on the clock, no, tap on the clock in the middle, and then choose sync, and it says what I want. I want to connect to my TCS, that's Timecode Systems Atomos Bluetooth device, and it is now, well, now it is scanning, trying to find it, and it's already paired before, so it should hopefully find it. There we go. And you can see on the slate, see the little blinking thing that says Blue 0293. That is the transmitter, and that is now synced up to house timecode, which is just awesome. And you can do, they added a feature in here for me that I haven't tried yet. Here we go. This calibrate time LTC lag can be used. They designed it for something else, but they modified it a little bit so that I could use it the way I wanted to, which was to compensate for audio sync difference between an HDMI camera and an SDI camera. And so that's something that does as well now. Anyway, cool stuff. It's great. I use like 1% of what that Slate is capable of. That thing's insane. There are so many features in that Slate app. It's pretty awesome. But the Bluetooth connection is key for me that allows me to sync up to my house time code. And it's not, honestly, it's not critical. I've almost never had to go to the Slate to look up the time code for things. It's more about having the shot take and reel and whatever info on there. Obviously the set info too, but it has been handy. It certainly has been handy to have that time code in there before, and you know, it's kind of cool. So like that. All right, what else? Paul, oops, let's get that back up. Paul says, I'm using Premiere right now, but I'm looking at switching to Final Cut, so Kino might be awesome. Actually, I think Kino exports out to Premiere as well. Let's see here. Let me go back into this and figure out where that export was. Let me see here. If I look for this final send to, it's in the send to menu. That's where it is. Final send to, yeah, Premiere and Resolve. This works with all of them. So you can send to Premiere, send to Resolve, send to Final Cut. It sends the metadata everywhere. So there you go. Does not have to be Final Cut. I do believe this is Mac only though. I'm pretty sure these guys are a Mac house. I could be wrong though. I could be wrong. Check it out. Check it out. Definitely do. Let's find out. I want to know. Now I want to know. Let's see here. Safari. Let's get this over here. Get this onto the screen and make that nice and big and hide my bookmarks. Come on, stupid thing. Just expand out like you're supposed to. For crying out loud. There we go. All right. Let's go back to this, and we're going to look up, what was it called? What did I say? Less Paint. Oh, Less Paint software. There it is. And Kino FAQs. Watch the intro. That's obviously a Mac. Individuals and teams. Save time in production. Quick and simple. Blah, blah, blah. Integrate with tools you love. Oh, what's their Frame.io integration? That's interesting. I've never even tried that. Huh. I'm looking for something that says free trial, get a light. Let's see if I go to the free trial. Mac. Oh, it is on Windows. There you go. Look at that. Mac and Windows. Super. I know, realize that you're obviously on Mac since you said that you are considering switching to Final Cut, but it's on both platforms. Nice. I did not know that. Learn something every day. Well, there you go. Check it out, Paul. Free trial. You got nothing to lose. It works with Premiere. Give it a try. I love it. I love it. Also looking for a good micro HDMI to HDMI for my S5 and Atomos. I've been getting weird little artifacts bad. I buy cables from Monoprice because they're cheap and they're awesome. And as long as you get 18 gigabit cables, you know that you will have enough bandwidth to do even RAW if you wanted to. Why do I feel like this is just, I had this set up right. Nope, that's not right. Ooh, that's definitely not right. I'm gonna have to reposition my crop. Anyway, I'm just gonna get rid of me because this is just stupid. Oop, wrong button. Let's go like that. Monoprice, shop cables. Oh, stop it. Leave me alone. Shop cables. What kinds of cables? You need all the cables. Micro and mini HDMI cables. Here we go. Is it micro or mini? I always forget which one it is. Anyway, go there. You'll find your cables. Do look for here 18 gigabit. That's your key. I don't know if that's the right cable, but anyway, 18 gigabit. If it's 18 gigabit, then it'll handle RAW. So if you're capturing RAW in the Atomos, then in the Ninja, then there you go. So 18 gigabit is it. 18 gigabit, got it. The official Atomos cable isn't cutting it, which is ridiculous because cables are so expensive. I used to like the coiled cables, but now I don't. I like thin cables that I can wrap around things or coil up in a loop or tuck away or just buy short ones. These cables are so inexpensive that you can buy multiples at multiple lengths and not even break a sweat. Like you could buy, 10 of these cables for the price of one of the Atomos. Look, I love Atomos. I love their products, but the cables are stupid. So just buy Monoprice cables. If anybody from Atomos is watching, I'm sorry, but you know I'm not wrong. Okay, let's see how. Anything else going on? Nothing else in the chat. What else do you guys want to talk about today? I don't know. 3 more videos that I've done for the A10 mini series. I've got one on Oh, that's right. What? Because I had the ATEM Mini, no ATEM, yeah, ATEM Mini Extreme ISO in the house for a while. That went back to Blackmagic. I had it for a specific project, but now I have another one that's on extended loan, which is great, from the DVE store. So support those guys, love them. So I'll be doing more, but anyway, so I had it for a while and I didn't know if I was going to be getting another one. So I crammed in 3 videos while I had it that were specific to it. One of them was, or specific to it and or other products that I had in house at the time. Anyway, so I did one video on reprogramming, removing the macros technically for the 6 macro keys, because there's 6 macro keys on there, but you can't actually reassign them. So it's just really about how to move a macro into those first 6 positions. So it's pretty straightforward, but kind of important. The second one is a bigger one that's on camera control. I had a Pocket Cinema Camera 6K in-house, again, for a specific project with the ATEM. So I did a whole video around all the things you can control in there, color control and exposure, of course, and focus. And then on the big ATEM, because you have all the physical buttons, we got to tour those as well, which is fun. And then the third one that I did was kind of a surprise. I didn't think I was going to be able to do this, but for the BGH1 project, we had we rented a big Canon Cine lens, which was adapted, well, we had an adapter to Micro Four Thirds using a Metabones adapter, but this big Cine broadcast lens has geared zoom, power zoom on it. So I was able to control the powered zoom on this huge honking lens from the software on the ATEM. That was really cool. So it's like, yeah, that's kind of fun. So that's on there too. Yeah, that's fun stuff. Anyway, so there you go. And actually, you know, now that I'm saying that, the lens is Canon. We adapted it to Micro Four Thirds for the BGH1, but on the Pocket Cinema camera, that is an E-mount, so there was no adapting. It just directly mounted onto the E-mount. That's how that worked. Yeah, it's kind of cool. So I got those 3 videos all shot. One of these days, I'm actually going to edit them. But I have to finish the Mevo project, and I've got a Panasonic color grade to do, and I've got stuff that is taking priority. It's good to be busy, but I want to work on my YouTube stuff too. Anyway, Paul's getting a bunch of BMD stuff at work soon. I really like the Blackmagic hardware. I really do. It is affordable. It's awesome. It's good stuff. All right. I'm feeling like this is kind of one of those, we're getting to the end of the show kind of a days. Where's my screen that shows me what the heck's actually going on in the, there it is. Yeah, I think it's time to wrap this thing up. Hey, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. That was fun, chill, relaxed. I did a lot of talking, as always. You guys need to do more talking. It's your job. You got to talk more. Let's get rid of the chat. Oh, browser has locked up, which means that Stream Deck's, there we go. There it is. Stream Deck's being funky, but now it's open. Okay. Nothing else coming up. All right. Hey, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Always lovely to see you guys. I'll try to plan the next one better, in more advance, and actually have topics and get this broadcast on multiple places. We get more people here, but this is just a chill show. All right. Take care, everybody. Ooh, one more thing. Oh, just Bug Bob saying goodbye. Good night to you, my friend. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.